Shabbat morning. I'd like to welcome those of you who are joining us through our live streaming through TBI TV. And this morning is a really special morning. We have the opportunity to, I wouldn't say bless, but I don't have the power to bless. Only God can bless. But to acknowledge award recipients Rhonda Nyrens and Robert Sward, as well as some birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, this is a place where we come just for a sense of community, where also some people also come to remember a loved one. But our reasons are because we love community and we're here to acknowledge and be part of community on this Shabbat morning. On page 194 begins Asher Yatsa and our Pesukei Zimra, some of our morning, Birkat HaShachar, our morning blessings begin soon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatza et ha'adam b'chokhmah u'bara'bo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chavodecha she'im yipateach echad mehem or yisatem echad mehem אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
אלוהי אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי באוראי אלוהי אלוהי נשמה שנתת אתה יצרת, אתה נפחת בי ואתה משמרה בקרבי כל זמן והגשמה בקרבי. מודה אני לפניך, אדוני אלוהי, אלוהי אבותיי, ריבון כל המעשים, אדון כל הנשמות, ברוך אתה אדוני אשר בידו נפש כל חי ורוח כל בשרי.
The Nisim B'chol Yom on page 198.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan nesachli vida le'avchin ben yom u'ben layla.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokech עברים.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam זוקף כפופים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המכין מצעדי גבר.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish avrumim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן ליעב כוח.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המעביר שינה מעיניי ותנומה מעפעפיי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשני בן חורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam עוזר ישראל בפורה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם פוטר ישראל בתפארה.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
Amen. Yasher koach to Sasha Wolf. Become a bar mitzvah in a few weeks really. When's your bar mitzvah? September, a few months. That's a few weeks, isn't it? Isn't he ready? Page 204. V'harevna Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratacha b'finu u'b'fi amcha Beit Yisrael. V'nihyeh nachnu v'tzetza'enu v'tzetza'ei amcha Beit Yisrael. Kulanu yodei shemecha v'lomdei Toratecha lishma Baruch atah Adonai hamlamed Torah la'amo Yisrael.
אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. כיבוד אב ואם וגמילות חסדים והשכמת בית המדרש שחרית וערבית. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. והכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים והכנסת כלה ולוויית המת ועיון תפילה והבאת שלום בין חברות. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הם. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הם.
On page 211, under the section of text, study texts, the last one behind Stern, who was the editor and the main contributor to both Gates of Repentance as well as Gates of Prayer, our old prayer books. Why fixed prayers? To learn what we should value, what we should pray for, to be at one with our people, the householders Israel, to ensure that the ideals painfully learned and purified and for which many have lived and died shall not perish from the community and shall have a saving influence upon the individual.
ברוך שמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך חוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריאות, ברוך משלם שכר טוב ליראה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בודה ומציל, ברוך שמו. משבחות ובזמירות נגדלך ונשבחך ונפארך ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך, מלכנו אלוהינו יחיד כעולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עדי עד שמו הגדול, ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מעולל ותשבחו.
Psalm 92 on the next page.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי אסון ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך רנן. הגדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בר לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה עמד יפרח כארז בלבנון, בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו אור ינון ושבע.
Ashrei this morning is led by Jesse Weller, who's our next bar mitzvah. You're on the 14th, 13th of April. I'll get it right one day. But I was close. I was a little bit closer than you, Sasha. The 13th of April, Ashrei, page 215.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yahalelucha selah.
Ashrei am shigach lo, Ashrei am shadnai Eloham.
Tehila leDavid, avamimcha Elohai hamelech, ve'avacha shimcha leolam va'ed.
Bechol yom avarcheka, v'halala shimcha leolam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umhulal me'od, ugdulato ein cheker.
דור לדור ישבח מעשיך, וגבורתך יגידו.
הדר כבוד הודיך, ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך.
ועזוז נורתך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה.
זכר רב טובך יביעו, וצדקתך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדל חסד.
טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו.
להודיע לבני אדם גבורותיו, וכבוד אדם מלכותו.
מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
תומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, זוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיני כל אלוהי יסתברו, ואתה נותן לכם את אוכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומצדיע לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמעו ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל הרשעים ישמיד.
תהילה אדוני ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה. Alleluia.
soul of everything alive. Bless your name, eternal our God.
נשמת כל חי תברך את שמך אדוני אלוהינו ורוח כל בשר תפאר ותרומם זכרך מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם אתה אל אין לנו מלך אלה אתה.
On page 221, therefore these limbs which you have formed in us, and the spirit and soul that you have breathed into our nostrils, this tongue which you have set in our mouths, they must acknowledge, bless, praise, and glorify your name, O our sovereign. For every mouth will acknowledge you, and every tongue pledge homage to you. Every knee bend in your presence. Every upright person shall bow before you. Every heart will revere you, and every inmost thought will sing to your name. As the psalmist wrote, let all my bones exclaim, who is like you, O God? As David continued, bless the Eternal One, O my soul, and let my inner being praise your holy name. Ka'amur la David, Baruchi nafshi et Adonai v'chol karavai et Shem kodsho. On page 223, Yishtabach Shimcha la'ad malkenu, Ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol va'akadosh v'shamayim v'aretz, Ki lecha na'eh Adonai Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu, Shir shvacha, Hallel v'zimra, Ozo memshala netzek g'dalag v'ra, Tehila v'tiferet kedusha malchut barachot v'hodaot, Me'ata v'ad olam.
Baruch atah Adonai El Melech Gadol Batishbachot El Haodaot Adon Haniflaot Habocher Beshirei Zimra Melech Elchei Olamim.
Amen. Let us rise for Chatzi Kaddish on the next page.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא נברא חירותי ויבליך מלכותי מחייכון ובימכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לילה מנגל מנחתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דנירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
As we are seated, let's continue with the blessings for the morning Yotzer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or u'borei choshech, oseh shalom u'borei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha brachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, malah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, Val more or she'asita yafarucha sela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'nizkeh hulanu mehera l'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamorot. Ahava rabba ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu. Chemla gedula v'terach hamalta alenu. Ba'avur avotenu shebatchu v'cha v'tlamden chukei chayim. Kein tochonenu utlamdenu. Hamrachem rachem alenu v'tein b'libenu lahavin ulhaskil לשמוע, ללמוד ולמד, לשמוע ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. ולא נבוש ולא נקלם ולא נקשר לעולם ועד. כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה, ובנו בחרתנו, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול סלה באמת, להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדונך
בכל לבבך
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר נוחים בצדך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם בלבביך, ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשבתך ובפניך, וקשרתם מאוד בביתך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי ביתיהם בתורתם, ויעטו על ציצית הכנף ותרצכם. והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תעשו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים ללבביכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. So I threw the Haftarah at Sasha at the last minute this morning as he walked in. I said, hey, do you want to do the Haftarah as well? And he kind of looked at me and, didn't he do great? I think sometimes our students are too scared to say no to the rabbi. The power we have. Right, Jesse? Yeah, he's just nodding. He's too scared to say no. Page 239. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Shiva
Amidah, page 242.
Yismachu on page 250.
Yismachu
fantastic duet that was, wasn't it? It was a little bit loud for me.
We could just stand right here.
I don't think it would have made a difference. You just see sound, this wall of sound, but it's beautiful. Kedushat Hayom, the holiness of our day, continues on page 252. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu, Ritzei v'imnuchatenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha, sabenu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha. V'taher libenu le'obdecha be'emet, v'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava v'ratzon, Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu v'Yisrael mekadshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 257. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, u'lecha na'eh lahodot.
טובה וברכה.
שים שלום וטובה וברכה, אין לך חסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל עליך.
שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. ברכנו אבינו, כולנו כאחד באור פניך. ברכנו אבינו, כולנו כאחד באור פניך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. לברך את עמך ישראל מכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. שים שלום טובה וברכה, טובה טובה וברכה. We take a moment of silent prayer and meditation, perhaps choosing inspiration on page 260 and 261, or using the words of our own hearts.
Shabbat, the order for reading Torah on this Shabbat, page 362.
Adonai melech, Adonai
different this morning. We have our honorees and birthdays and anniversaries and yard sites. And in the sermon slot, that's when Roger will be making the presentation to our honorees. So I thought, when would be an appropriate moment for me to share a little bit about the Torah portion. And so I thought, how about when the Torah's out? Does that make sense? Yeah. And I'm going to, just for transparency reasons, I don't want you to think that I'm plagiarizing anybody, but in a sense I'm going to plagiarize Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, who plagiarized a book that he read. I'm not plagiarizing him. I'm going to draw on some ideas from Rabbi Sachs. And when I was listening to his podcast during the week on this week's Torah portion, I realized that what he had done is he had read a book. And he basically, in his whole drush, quoted this book. So I'm going to quote him and share with you because I thought that this was really fascinating, his drush. Who here loves steak tartare? You like steak tartare? What about if you have a steak you wanted rare, medium rare, ordre bleu? You just love to see that blood oozing out of that meat. For some of you, I'm turning your stomachs. And for others, you're like, your mouth is watering, you can't wait to get out of shul and go find that steak tartare. I was just waiting for the cantor to make a remark, because he tends to heckle me, as you know. Well, what if I said to you that eating steak, even if it comes from a kosher animal, a cow, that steak tartare, or a steak medium rare, is not kosher? It's not kosher. Victor, you're nodding your head, which means you know why, and the reason being is blood. We are not allowed to eat blood. And it says so many times in the Torah, including this week's parasha, Tzav. By the way, you should wish me Mazel Tov. Do you know why? It's the anniversary of my bat mitzvah. Did you call it? Jesse called it. Just 5 years ago. I think I was trying to work it out when we were doing the Amidah. I think it was something. So if I'm 42 and I was 13, you can do the math. A couple of years ago. And let me tell you that this parasha is the worst parasha in the Torah, in the whole Torah. Because all it does is it focuses on sacrifices. But let me tell you, if I have a bar bat mitzvah that comes to me, I tell them this is the best one. You can't get any better than this one. But let me get back to this idea of blood. And this idea of blood, and that we're not permitted to eat blood, is, as I said, is mentioned many times in the Torah. It even goes back to Noah. Because with Noah it says, wherever you live, you must not eat the blood of any bird or animal. If anyone eats blood, that person must be cut off from his people. Actually, that's from this week's Torah portion. But from Noah, it simply says, but you must not eat meat that has its life blood still in it. So we've got in Genesis, we have in Leviticus, and we also have in Deuteronomy, where it says, be sure you do not eat the blood and so forth. So the question is, what's wrong with blood? Why can't we eat blood? Well, Maimonides and Nachmanides, so Maimonides being around the 11th, 12th century, Nachmanides being around the 12th, 13th century, they both have ideas that I would say are not in conflict, but they are different. For Maimonides, he turns around and says, we don't eat the lifeblood, because ultimately by eating the lifeblood, we are mimicking the sacrifices of ancient people. And he quotes Maimonides quotes the Aztecs for an example. You know, the Aztecs of South America, what did they do? They would sacrifice their children. He also, and when I was actually in Peru, we saw the Aztecs, they would take these children and put them up on the top of hills, and they actually found some of the child sacrifices because of the extreme climate of cold up in the mountains. So they found you could see an Aztec child sacrifices actually in museum. So that turned my stomach when I saw that in Peru. And then another example that was given, and this was in the book that called Bloodlines, the book by Ehrlichman, I think her name is, that Jonathan Sachs quoted, is that in another example that one of the groups of people, whose name I don't remember, would actually pull apart a person who was alive and eat them. And so Maimonides, my goal was to gross you out this morning. So Maimonides was very much, if we do this, this is about mimicking what these ancient people were doing. And of course, Nachmanides says, okay, it's not about idolatry so much as it is the classic saying, we are what we eat. So if we eat an animal with its lifeblood still in it, we become animal-like. And we can see that there are some people in the world that we might use the term blood-hungry. Have we used that term with people before? Bloodlust, blood-hungry. What's? Bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it, blood-hungry? That people are bloodthirsty. So the more we eat the lifeblood of an animal, we start, especially predator animals, we become predator-like. And so the prohibition that came through in Judaism against that was saying that yes, Maimonides is right and Nachmanides is right, to say that if we eat the blood, we're mimicking those sacrifices of the ancients. And by eating the blood, as Nachmanides said, we are drawing into our body and into our soul the blood that can potentially make us animal-like. I've gone off on a tangent from Rabbi Sachs because I think my idea is better. But I think that that's something. So when we think about, the next time we put a piece of steak in our mouth, I'm not going to tell you, progressive Judaism, we don't tell you what you can and you can't eat, but allow you to make your own decisions. But I think the next time that we do eat, you think about what is it that we're putting into our mouths, because I think there is something in terms of what we are, what we eat, not so much on the physical, but certainly on the psychological and the intellectual. Well, I can tell you something. I ate chocolate mousse last night, and I'm delighted to say I am what I eat. I'm warm and sweet and comforting. Shabbat Shalom. Our Torah reading is going to continue on chapter 8 of Leviticus, verse 1. We're on page 795. Effie Morowitz is going to be our first Lena. Effie, I'm going to hand you the yad. And we call to Torah Chazan, cantor.
And so we call Rhonda Nirens to Torah. Tamod Shoshana bat Gedalia ve'Rivka Rishona la'aliyah laTorah. As Kim just mentioned, we are on page 795, actually at the very beginning of the right-hand column. Very easy to find, and it's easy to find as well. Page 795. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher b'chavanu mikol ha'olim, v'tan lanu et Torto. Baruch Atah Adonai Nitan.
Amen.
וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, קח את אהרון ואת בניו איתו, ואת הבגדים ואת שמן המשחה, ואת פר החטאת, ואת שני האלים, ואת סל המצות, ואת כל העדה הקהל אל פתח אוהל מועד. ויעש משה כאשר ציווה אדוני אותו, ותיקהל העדה אל פתח אוהל מועד. ויאמר משה אל העדה, זה הדבר אשר ציווה אדוני לעשות. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נתן לתורים. Baruch atah Adonai נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. V'shaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you, Rhonda, as you're called to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of the so many things that you do within this congregation to move us forward. Rhonda, you have been a member of this congregation and an active member of this congregation since 1874.
Very well preserved. Very well preserved.
And in that more than a century, you have given you not just the work of your hands, the Masaya Dehem, as we say, but also your heart and your mind, to ensuring that the congregation has heart. Whether it's working on programs with Michelle's, when we did the Purim drop-offs of Hanukkah, take them a meal, Shamashim, being a support. You're here making donuts, but never again. You're here supporting Michelle, whether it's in the Purim Spiel or any of the different things, and you don't do it because of the huge salary that you get, because this is beyond that, because you really do it out of a sense of love for this congregation, for the people, the community, and out of a love of Judaism and progressive Judaism. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to tread on Roger's feet, and that's the same for you, Rob. I'm not going to recount everything. But Rhonda, you are a blessing to this congregation, and I hope that you know that in everything that you do, and every single day. May you only go from strength to strength with love. And I know with the cancer would agree with me.
Oh, mine.
You just cut me off. Mazel tov.
For our second aliyah, we invite Sue Morgan Tulane and Rob Ford to come to Torah Ya'amod. Yosef ben Shmuel u'Miriam Sheni l'aliyah la-Torah. You will find us on page 795, right-hand column, fourth line from the bottom, third word in. 795, right-hand column, fourth line from the bottom, third word in.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bakar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
ויקרב משה את אהרון ואת בניו וירחץ אותם במים וייתן עליו את הכותונת ויחגור אותו באבנת וילבש אותו את המעיל וייתן עליו את האפוד ויחגור אותו בחשב האפוד יעפוד לו בו וישם עליו את החושן וייתן אל החושן את האורים ואת התומים וישם את המצנפת על ראשו וישם על המצנפת אל מול פניו את ציץ הזהב, נזר הקודש, כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'shaberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you, Rob, as you're called to Torah, in honor of Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Shabbat, and in honor of your being award recipient today. You too go back to 1875 with Rhonda. Being really part of this community in a way your entire life. And this community too is your home, and your work within the community has been a little bit different to Rhonda. You chose to step onto the board, or you were co-opted or dragged one way or another, maybe by the back of your collar, and it was Brian. A lot of people blame Brian. And then moving through the ranks of the board to take on the role as president a few years ago. One of the beautiful parts of being a past president is, I think, the word past. Rebecca, you got a while to go. And what is unusual is, well, it's not so unusual for this congregation, but is unusual for the role of president, is that so many of our past presidents, and you included, have continued to stay involved within communal life. You're the first one we see out there whenever there is a working bee to clean up and make this place look beautiful for the high holidays, or for Pesach, or for Hanukkah. You're out there with the team that you put together. Your involvement on the different committees within the congregation, whether it's the governance, the finance, Mifgash, and I'm just scratching the surface. But you too, you bring a heart to the work that you do. The love that you do, and of course you are supported by Jenny. Your family's here, as is yours, Rhonda. I think Ravi's sitting there in the front row. But it's who you are, and I don't think you would be complete without the work and this congregation. And we just hope that you too will go from strength to strength, because you, like Rhonda, are a true blessing to this community, to our congregation. And with God's blessing, we say,
Amen. And Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
For our third Aliyah, we invite Sue to continue laning for her own Aliyah. Tamo tamni tzipora bat Yehuda halevi ve'ilza shlishit la'aliyah laTorah. You will find this on 795, left-hand column, 4th line down, 3rd last word.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai barach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai barach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai natan haTorah.
Amen.
ויקח משה את שמן המשחה, וימשח את המשכן ואת כל אשר בו, ויקדש אותם. ויעש ממנו על המזבח 7 פעמים, וימשח את המזבח ואת כל כליו, ואת הכיור, ואת קנו לקדשם. ויצוק משמן המשחה על ראש אהרון, וימשך אותו לקדשו. ויקרב משה את בני אהרון, ויבישם. ויבשם כתונת, ויכו אותם אבנת, ויכבוש להם מבעות, כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shabbat Chavatena v'hamitzach v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you, Suez, who called to the Torah, in honor of God, in honor of our ancestors, and in honor of a significant birthday that you are celebrating at this time.
21 today. 21 today.
When I saw on the list how old you really are, because I was astounded. I was astounded because I would have put you at least 15 years younger. The way that you carry yourself around the congregation, just enjoying life. Fred's away at the moment, so he would be here to celebrate with you. He's up in Queensland. But really, it's not about the number, is it? It's about how you feel. And the energy that you bring to this congregation, the love that you bring to the congregation, reading from Torah. But I think nerves is what makes us human. And again, we are so blessed to have you, to continue to be part of this community that where you are part of, with Fred as the senior rabbi, now as Rabbi Emeritus. We are blessed with the work of your hands, the work of the voice that you share with us. May you only go in strength to strength, and may you continue to enjoy life to its fullest, your children, your grandchildren, and of course you've got an upcoming wedding very, very soon. And with all blessings, we wish you Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. And so for our fourth Aliyah, we invite Barry and Nancy, Robert and Rita, Yamdu Dov ben Yaakov, Chana bat Menachem v'Gitel v'Reuben ben Yaakov v'Zizel v'Rivka bat Benyamin v'Hendel Radim l'Aliyah l'Torah.
Ayad moved from Sue to Cantor Michelle Alun. And we are continuing with the Torah reading on page 796, chapter 8, verse 14. Whenever you go.
And we're beginning just here if you want to touch here. Baruch Adonai HaMavrach Leolam Va'ed. Amen. So you'll find this is a charming section talking about the sin offering, which I think it's very apropos that I should be reading this. And the small details of exactly what to do with the different part of the offal, the skin, and the body of the offering.
It's just getting better and better, isn't it?
It really is. ויגש את פר החטאת ויזמח אהרון ובניו את ידיהם על ראש פר החטאת וישחוט ויקח משה את הדם ויתן על קרנות המזבח סביב בית באו ויחדה את המזבח ואת הדם יצק על יסוד המזבח ויקדשהו לכפר עליו ויקח את כל החלב אשר על הכרם ואת יותרת הכבד ואת שתי הכליות ואת חלבהן ויקטור משה המזבחה ואת הפר ואת אורו ואת בשרו ואת בראשו צרף באש מחוץ למחנה כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Amen. May the God of our ancestors bless you, Robert and Rita and Barry and Nancy, as you're called to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Shabbat, and in honor of the wedding anniversaries that you are all celebrating at this moment. So just want to make sure we get the couples right. I'm kidding. You know, you look remarkably well for having been married 75 years ago. For Barry and Nancy, you're celebrating your 25th wedding anniversary, and for Rita and Robert, 36. And 36 is double pride, which is Michelle's got a couple more years to catch up to both of you.
I was just saying, my keep is off to you.
So what is the secret? What is the secret to 25 and 36 years married? To Barry and Nancy, you should listen carefully because these guys have been married longer. Communication. Even as you answer differently. Barry and Nancy, what views?
Having a good wife and listening and being obedient.
The key word there was obedience from Barry.
Are you going to buy her a vacuum cleaner for the anniversary? Is that what you're saying? Power drill.
Power drill. This is whatever your secret is, and I think it is particular to each couple, each relationship, is that I heard not so long ago, and I've mentioned it before in the Bema, that the secret to a happy marriage isn't a happy wife, but is when you get into bed at night, no matter what you feel towards each other, you allow your toes to touch. And I think knowing that, that it's a life that you've chosen to spend with each other, growing with each other in experience, in love, in friendship, in companionship, is something truly beautiful and remarkable. And I even think as a single person, I look at you guys and say, that's a miracle. That's the true meaning of a miracle, when two people are able to find each other in love. And may you only go from strength to strength with all blessings. And we say amen and mazel tov.
For our final aliyah, we do transition from celebration to a moment of memory. If you are here at a yard site, whether it is Shiva, Shloshim, or the yard site of a loved one, then this aliyah is for you. Please come forward at this time. We will have Abby laning for us this aliyah, and we continue at verse 18 and onwards, which you will find on page 796, right-hand column, bottom line, last word on that line. Page 796, right-hand column. Say that again. Bottom line, last word in that column. And we're just starting. And I happen to know that Abby started learning this yesterday. So this is a remarkable achievement for someone. Not everyone has the memory capacity to learn an aliyah pretty much overnight. So kol hakavod for Abby to come forward and learn an aliyah overnight. Amen.
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Ve'imotenu Sarah Karachav Alei. May the God of our ancestors bless you as your call to Torah in honor of Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Shabbat, and in honor of the memory of the loved ones who you hold in your hearts. At this moment, at this Shabbat, a time to remember, a time to reflect, and a time to think of the values that were important in your loved one's life that has been passed on to you, that you can pass on to those around you. This is a difficult time to think when we lose someone. We're in between Purim and we've got Pesach, knowing that we still sit at the Pesach table and there's an empty spot, not just for Eliyahu, Elijah, but for our loved one to be there, so physically not there, but certainly present as you sit around the Pesach Seder and you think about the times they were there with you, celebrating and enjoying. May you remember fondly the things that bring you most joy in your loved one's minds, and with God's blessing we say Amen as we wish you a long life.
As is our tradition, we also take a moment to share a prayer and a thought for those in the community who are unwell. And so we turn to Mishaberach on page 371. 371. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We think of at this time Albert Ben Tata, Eva Marks, Gabriel Bat Yitzhak of Devorah, Annette French, Henry Gladwin, Anita Meany, Sue Brown, Rona Zinger, Aviva Ben Tata, Adira Bat Rachel, Bella Magid, Hannah Bat Dora, Lindsay Etlinger, Mel Wright, Grigory Marshanovsky, Lydia Kostenko, Marsha Moore, Morris Mark, George Shaw, and Graham Nathan. If you'd like to share the name of a loved one for healing, please do so out loud or in your hearts at this time.
Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Tachalim, blessed is God who brings healing to those who are unwell and support and strength to their caregivers, and we say Amen.
Amen.
Let us rise now for Hagba and Glila as we lift and dress the Torah.
Bezot HaTorah asher tzam Moshe b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Bezot HaTorah asher tzam Moshe b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Haftarah on page 983, read by Brian Samuel, the man who only likes one committee meeting one night per month.
Best marketing campaign.
Thank you, Michelle. If anybody's interested, they can see me after the service. Jeremiah was the most inward of the prophets. In his agonised vision, he foresaw Jerusalem's destruction and was jailed for his preachments. When the Babylonians destroyed the city in 586 BCE, he became one of the exiles and died in Egypt. Jeremiah, preaching before the destruction of the temple, warned his people that sacrifices alone, as committed in the Sidra, would not mollify God's wrath unless they were accompanied by a true return to him. Ritual without commitment was form without content. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bach b'nvi'im tovim, v'ratzah v'divreihem, hanehemar be'emet, Baruch atah Adonai hamotea b'torah, she'av tov v'rei hamo v'rei ha'emet v'tzedek. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, add your burnt offerings to your other sacrifices and eat the meat. For when I freed your fathers from the land of Egypt, I did not speak with them or command them concerning burnt offerings or sacrifice. But this is what I commanded them. Do my bidding, that I may be your God and that you may be my people. Walk only in the way that I enjoy upon you, that it may go well with you. Yet they did not listen or give ear. They followed their own counsels, the willfulness of their evil hearts. They have gone backward, not forward. From the day your fathers left the land of Egypt until the day, and although I kept sending all my servants, the prophets, to them daily and presently, they would not listen to me or give ear. They stiffened their necks, they acted worse than their fathers. You shall say all these things to them, but they will not listen to you. You shall call to them, but they will not respond to you. Then say to them, this is the nation that would not obey the Lord their God, that would not accept rebuke. Faithfulness has perished, vanished from their mouths. Shield your locks and cast them away. Take up a lament on the heights, for the Lord has spurned and cast off the brood that provoked his wrath. For the people of Judah have done what displeases me, declares the Lord. They have set upon their abominations a house which is called by my name, and they have defiled it. And they have built their shrines of Topheth in the valley of Ben Hinnom to burn their sons and daughters in fire, which I never commanded, which never came into my mind. Assuredly, a time is coming, declares the Lord, where men shall no longer speak of Topheth to the valley of Ben Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter, and they shall bury in Topheth until no room is left. The carcasses of this people shall be food for the birds of the sky and the beasts of the earth, which none to frighten them off. And I will silence in the towns of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem the sound of mirth and gladness, the voice of bridegroom and bride, for the whole land shall fall to the ruin. And at that time, declares the Lord, the bones of the kings of Judah, of its officers, of the priests, of the prophets, and of the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be taken out to their graves, and exposed to the sun, the moon, and all the host of heaven which they have loved and served and followed, to which they turned and bowed down. They shall not be gathered for reburial. They shall become dung upon the face of the earth, and death shall be preferable to life for all that are left in this wicked folk, in all the other places to which I shall banish them, declares the Lord of hosts. Thus said the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, let not the strong man glory in his strength, let not the rich man glory in his riches. But only in this should one glory, in his earnest devotion to me, For I, the Lord, act with kindness, justice and equity in the world. For in these I delight, declares the Lord. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol ha'adorot, ha'el ha'neman ha'omer v'roche ha'mdaber u'mkayem, shechol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanviim v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh. Shenatan lanu Adonai Eloheinu l'kudsha l'nimcha l'chavot u'tiferet. Al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu. Anachni modim lach, umvarehim otach, yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai, olam ve'olam v'ay. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Friends, let's rise now for the prayer for our country and the state of Israel. We're on page 377 for Israel, and of course we do a slightly different version for the prayer for the country.
For our country, let us bless our country of Australia and all its people. Let us have dreams in the historic land of dreamers. Let the hot winds from the desert fire our imagination. Let the red soil of the plains keep us rooted to the things that matter. Let the waters of our rivers, lakes and oceans flow into our hearts, giving us depth and understanding. Help us remember those who have lived in this land before us, and those who have made it their home in more recent times. Keep our eyes open to the beauty of this land. May we strive to keep its beauty present and strong. May we never be lazy in the work for peace. May we honour those who have died in defence of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they lead with justice and compassion. Let our compassion be like the encompassing coastlines of our continent. May acceptance, kindness and peace live steadily within this ancient and enduring land. Amen.
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 Pray for the state of Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. We remain standing as we return the Torah to the Ark on page 374. to the Bema Roger Mendelson, the president of the Union for Progressive Judaism, to share a little bit about the awards that will be presented and a little bit about our recipients. And then I believe we may even hear from our recipients. So Roger, welcome to the Bema. Roger, of course, is also a past president of this community. So you want Robert and Rhonda back on the Bema?
Yes. We are now at the fun part of the service where we're not going to hear about animals being torn apart and children being sacrificed. We're going to talk about some really nice people. So Rob, Sebastian, Rhonda, and sorry. Yeah. It's a pleasure to stand here with two people who I respect and admire in the front of their TBI family. Rhonda seems to have always been here, and certainly from the time that Sue and I joined TBI, which was 30 or 35 years ago, you have always been around. You know all the families, you know all the gossip. If you ever wanted to know what's happening, Rhonda was the one to ask. You know who needs help, and you know who to ask to give the help. The award that I'm about to present to you is the Major TBI Award, and it is worked out by a group of about 4 people. I play no role in who decides who to get it, and the class of people it's aimed at are people exactly like Rhonda, the quiet achievers who turn up year after year, and if there's a job to be done, they're the ones who always do it. When I saw that your name was on the list to receive this, it struck me that this should have been a long, long time ago, but we're here now. You and Rob epitomise the spirit of TBI. And I hear this sometimes around our region, that why do TBI people tend to be presidents of the UPJ and treasurers and major roles? And it's because of our culture here. And this isn't something new. This goes way back to the early days of TBI, because this was the home shul of our whole movement in Australia. So you have both, in your own quiet ways, helped out whenever there is help that needs to be done. Rob served, as you heard from Kim, and you would all know, as president of TBI. And when I became president of our movement in this region, and that's not just Australia, we involve the Kiwis and Asia and India. One of the roles I knew I had to face was that we would have to organise a biannual meeting, and this is one of the big jobs that we handle. And I was rather daunted by this. I didn't know what to do. And then I had an aha moment. I'll call Rob Sward. And I did, and I asked Rob if he would become chair of our committee. And Rob did. Didn't need to twist his arm. And from there, Rob built up a group of about 8 or 9 people from all around our region, and this took place over probably a 2-year period. And the results of this came through in November this year in Melbourne. It was held in Melbourne, where everyone I've spoken to has acclaimed it as being the best biennial we have ever had. So it's now left to me to have the honourable and pleasurable task to present awards to each of you, to Rhonda. You've often seen this presented over the years, and it's your turn. Do you want to just read that out?
Union for Progressive Judaism is proud to present the Ner Tamid Award 2018 to Rhonda Nylands in recognition of her dedication and service to Temple Beth Israel and the Jewish community.
So hold on to it because it's now yours. And I'm sure this will sit on your hallway, and every time you go up, you can feel that we don't say thank you every day, but it's in our hearts that that's what we mean. And Rob, this award I have had a direct role in the President's Award is decided by me, but in consultation with our colleagues. And this was a no-brainer, but it just had to be. Your name was on this award. So Rob, it really gives me great pleasure to present this to you, and I'm sure that again, this will stand on your wall. And for all those 2.5 years probably of hard work, this is our thank you back to you. Mazel tov. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Rhonda, I invited her to say some words, but she felt she's already been heard enough. So, unless you change your mind overnight.
I think.
Yeah.
I guess what I would like to say.
Yeah.
I guess what I would like to say is to thank the UPJ. I feel incredibly honoured and humble. I did have an amazing person as my role model in my late mother, who was on the Temple Guild, who did everything that she taught me to do. Thank you. Sorry.
Rob, do you have some words? You of course, boys.
Thank you, Roger. Roger, in your email, I have to have it, excuse me, just one. In Roger's email, he mentioned that this presentation was taking place instead of the sermon, so I thought I'd prepare a 30-minute speech, but maybe I won't. This is just a chance to say some thank yous, and the very first one is to Roger. Thank you very, very much to you and the UPJ for the award. I really will. I appreciate it so very much, and I really will treasure it. It really means a great deal to me. I want to thank, I'll just take this opportunity, I'm really not going to go on for 30 minutes, but I take this opportunity, I want to also thank Brian, who's Vice President of UPJ, but also something like 15 or 16 years ago, Brian, you said to me, how about you come onto the board, it's only one meeting a month. Well-known saying. After lots of meetings later, board committees and everything else, Brian, thank you very much, because it really has been a phenomenal part of the journey of my life, and it's a whole part that I treasure deeply. I also want to thank Sam Sharman, who was lovely. Sam was just up here a minute ago. Where have you gone? I think that's Sam. Thank you, Sam. Sam showed great trust in me, wonderful support. Sam, great trust in appointing me one of her vice presidents a number of years ago, and I will always appreciate and thank Sam for her continued support many times. Roger just mentioned that this was his own own choice. And Lord, I was wondering if the wonderful Honours Committee might have had something to do with it. Risha, Evelyn, Alan and numerous others that are here. If you did have anything to do with it, I thank you sincerely. And I know how good we are at keeping secrets. I was inspired a number of years ago to take an even bigger role in TBI. TBI in my family is now 5 generations. Having Sebastian up here with me is something very special. He's the 5th generation of the Swards, Sward Dobbs, the wider family, to be involved in TBI. And I was also inspired by my daughter and my son, Carly and Andrew, who played a huge role on CSG, spent many hours, many days, many weeks over a number of years outside shores, supporting, watching over our community. So they were a sincere part of my inspiration. And the other major part of my inspiration is my wife, Jenny, who has had to put up with numerous solo dinners as I've been out to meetings, keeping dinners warm, and the inevitable at 11 o'clock at night, oh, I just remembered one more email that I really must send. So thank you, my darling wife. And to my TBI family, there are so many of you that I count amongst my very dearest of friends. And you all know who you are, and I thank you all sincerely, because the sort of things that I do are only a pleasure because of all of you and what we all do for our wonderful and cherished community. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Roger.
Sorry. I also want to thank some very, very dear people, my children, obviously. They have been, like Rob's family, long-suffering with, oh, you're working again, oh, you're a TV again, oh, you. But they also love it, and hopefully we have instilled in them the same love that was instilled in us as children growing up. I distinctly remember standing on this bimmer when it was in there, looking up at Rabbi Sanger, thinking, this man is so scary. But we both go back a very long way. We were both born into this congregation, and it is incredibly precious, and we're just devoted to it. We love it. Hopefully our littlies will also do the same, and also to very dear friends, Sam, obviously one of them, and others, Michelle, Anna, Kim. Everyone is so supportive, and we lead by their example as well. So thank you all so very much. We'll get these ones off the bimmer.
Rob, mazel tov to you and to your family, and Rhonda, mazel tov to you and to your family. It's wonderful to see the grandchildren on the bima, isn't it? And children, if you look at Michelle. Interpret that how you wish. My friends, let us move into our concluding prayers. We're on page 586. Let us rise for Elena.
Oh
Kaddish Yatom, which is on page 598. For the week of Shiva, the 7 days of mourning, we remember Peter Orloff. And for the Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning, we remember Rabbi Jeremy Kollick, Benjamin Earl, Margaret Jones, Maria Cam, Sandra Myers, Miriam Menahem, Elaine Nassau, Irene Edith, Johanna Newman, Margaret Pohl, and Robert Regner. And the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of whose death fall on this Shabbat, we remember Eva Ballant, Lev Botvinnik, Trudy Kahn, Peter Fisher, Jacob Frey, Zach Heyman, Gitti Honig, Keith Hyman, Leslie Isaacs, Alma Jusky, Eli Kay, Betty Lipson, Abraham Margolius, Frida Rosalie Margolius, Martin Martin, George Mansfield, Josephine Moore, Alfred Rood, Imre Shon, Maria Shon, Henya Shaw, Adrian Scheinberg, Laura Schwartz, Yasha Spivakovsky, Dora Stanton, Basil Starr, Mark Isaac Wayne, Emma Weiler, Bolet Bullweiler, and Isabel Zipper. If you'd like to remember the name of a loved one for Shiva, Shloshim, or Yahrzeit, I invite you to share their names out loud or in your hearts at this time. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing as we join together with Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach Kiritei v'yamlich malchutei, hayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kariv v'yimeru, Yehei Shemei Rabbah, mevarach l'olam l'omei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei Kudesha, La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, Damiran bi'alma v'yimerur, Yehei shlam araba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imur, Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imur. Hamakom yinachem echem b'toch shah havlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world, and we say, Amen. As we are seated, our President, Rebecca Selk, will make some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you, Cantor Lulum, Joel and Rhonda, for your liturgy. And welcome everyone to services at TBI this morning, whether you are here in celebration, to pray in community, or in memory of a loved one. Mazel Tov, Rhonda and Rob, on your well-deserved awards from the UPJ, and a very sincere thank you from the lay leadership for all that you have done and all that you do for our community. Mazel Tov, Barry and Nancy, Robert and Rita on your anniversaries, and Mazel Tov, Sue, on your significant birthday, and thanks for all that you do, including in our social justice space with the Dignity Group. A few announcements. Please do stay after services and after Kiddush. We will have lunch and learn in the Friedlander, where Margaret Taft and Professor Andrew Marcus will be discussing their book, The Making of Yiddish Melbourne. It's nice to have company here. So do stay after Kiddush. Should be a really, really interesting session. Tomorrow, Sunday, is the King David School's King's Carnival at their Orong Road campus. I hope you'll come along and support KDS, and also if you would like to come by the donut and popcorn stall, which is our TBI stall, and help us just giving out some promotional material to people who are there at the carnival. So that's tomorrow, Sunday. If you missed services last night or didn't happen to watch them on the streaming, you will have missed a really wonderful speaker, Leslie Sachs, who's from Israel, from the Women of the Wall. She gave a very powerful drush last night. You can hear her again on the 3rd of April at our Nash and Drush session. 3rd of April, Wednesday week at 10:30 here at TBI. You'll see in your Kol Israel sheet some notice about our Sederim because Pesach is fast approaching. There will be our TBI to Mid Chocolate Seder as usual. It's on Tuesday the 2nd of April, pre-Pesach, open to all children and their families, and it's really good fun. Then our Community Seder will be on second night, which is the 20th of April. Will be led this year by Rabbi Lazaro and Ari Sharfstein, our song leader. And that is always a wonderful night as we sing and dance and eat and work our way through the Pesach story. So you can book on our website, and it is necessary to book because places are limited. So that's second night, the 20th of April. Then our Women's Seder will be led by Rabbi Edlinger and Rhonda Hall, and that will be on Thursday the 25th of April at 6:30 in the evening. This is always a really wonderful night as well. So for, again, bookings are important, so do try and book before the 11th of April for the Women's Seder. Thank you very much, Jackie and Dot, for being our Shamashim today. There you are, down the back. Thank you very much. Thank you to our laners, Effie, Sue, Cantolalum and Abby. Please do thank our security volunteers who've been keeping us safe, and join us for Kiddush after the final song. Shabbat Shalom.
We conclude with the words of Ein Kelohenu on page 626, 626. Kelohenu, ein kanonenu, ein kemalkenu, ein kemoshienu, mi Kelohenu, mi kanonenu, mi kemalkenu, mi kemoshienu, non el Elohenu, non el Adonenu, non el Malkenu, non el Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atau Eloheinu, Atau Adonenu, Atau Malkeinu, Atau Moshienu.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please join us for Kiddush.
Please join us in the Sloan Hall. We'll begin with Kiddush in just a moment.
Come on in, everybody, for Kiddush. We'll make the blessings. We'll have a nash.
If you'll join us, we'll begin with Kiddush in just a moment. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל לא תהיה לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Al Kem Barach Adonai Yom HaShabbat Vayakadashehu, and God sanctified the Shabbat and called it a delight.
sabri maranan baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim.
L'chaim.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן. שבת שלום אין בתיאבון.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lunch and Learn is beginning in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, please come and join us for Lunch and Learn. Lunch and Learn. Lunch. They've switched it off. Hi, Risha.
Sent around, thank you. Hi.
Thank you.
To find information, so...
Because Jackie hasn't, I think Jackie could be a worthy candidate, but she hasn't been part of TBI for long.
Oh.
Only about 5 or 6 years.
To me, they're just names, you see. It's the others that did, and you're quite right. You need to know. and you need to decide. You might have other
And it may be,
Got
and it
other
may be
names that
okay.
you might think of. If you do, put them up. I mean, it's not.
Oh, okay. Oh, lovely.
Are you going to come for the food?
Okay, for the food.
Is lunch and learn on already?
It's going to start. Andrew's not in there, but let's see who's in there.
She's pretty cute.
What's tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Does anybody want a proper coffee?
Are you offering?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Really? Go to the other kitchen. You're welcome to put that down. We just